Minimalism and simple living have honestly changed so many things for me, not just in what I own and how I spend my money, but also how I think, what I value, and how I feel on a day-to-day basis. In today's video, I'm sharing 7 minimalist rules that changed my life, and they help me to stop overthinking my stuff, feel more at peace in my home, spend less money, and experience more joy. So if you're also interested in these things, then I think you're really going to enjoy these. They're not very strict rules, they're more like gentle guidelines, but they have been transformative for me and they have stayed with me for many years. As always, feel free to grab something cozy for yourself to drink if you want, and let's talk about it. Before we begin, this video is made possible by my supporters on Patreon and YouTube members. So a huge thank you to them for their support. They help me to keep making these videos for everyone here on YouTube. And if you want to join too, then I will leave the links in the description box below. Number 1, nothing I can buy will truly change my life, aka the linen pants illusion. What I've learned from years of minimalism and simple living is that while it can be fun to buy things, it almost never actually ends up changing anything in the long run. And that is both kind of a sad thing, but also mostly a freeing thing in my experience. There are many things that I have purchased in my life that at the time I thought would change or even revolutionize things. My cleaning routine, my beauty routine, my home, my wardrobe, my organization. And looking back on it, it almost never did. Most items that we can buy, even if we're super excited about them, they after a while become just another one of our possessions. They're like part of the whole, and they don't actually end up changing anything in a real lasting way. Small example, let's say I'm looking at a pair of white linen pants, and as a minimalist I'm going to ask myself, do I already own white linen pants? And the answer will be no. Do I think that I would wear them? And probably the answer would be yes. But in this example, even if I bought the white linen pants, it still will not actually change my wardrobe in any lasting, valuable way, because it doesn't account for the fact that I already have enough pairs of pants right now. So you can only wear one pair of pants at a time. So if I bought the white linen pants, the only thing that would actually change is that now I'm wearing my other pants less often. And of course, I'm not saying that we cannot buy new pants or have a couple different options for variety, but just to show, like, the only situation where this actually would have changed something for the better is if I didn't already have enough pairs of pants in the first place, or if I didn't have anything to wear for warmer weather. Then it actually would have made sense and changed anything. But usually we kind of already have enough. You can absolutely buy things that add comfort, convenience, joy. There's nothing wrong with that. But this is just about recognizing that cycle of consumption that is very much normalized in our society, in my opinion, that by shopping, we are upgrading our life. When in reality, excessive shopping makes us less satisfied. So we get that initial dopamine hit, that rush of something new and shiny. But when we accumulate too much stuff, or when we're always chasing the next purchase, we end up feeling more disconnected and restless. Because if we're always in a constant pursuit of the next thing to buy, we never stop to notice and appreciate the small joys in life and the many things that we already own. So when I think about things that actually changed my life, it wasn't a new pair of shoes or a new gadget or a new hair care product. It was more so realizing that no external thing can change an internal feeling. It can't bring me lasting happiness or contentment. So now when I feel the urge to buy something that I really don't need, I try to first focus on changing my habits, my mindset, my day-to-day routines, and see if I can make some improvements there, because that has been much more successful for me than buying something new. And I do try to ask myself now, will this thing actually change or improve something in a lasting and valuable way? Or will this just give me another option of pants to wear? Number 2 is the deserve better rule. Let's talk about a phrase that we've probably all heard before: you deserve it. Because we often get told that we should treat ourselves by buying things. And it is like we work hard, we deserve to get something new and shiny and possibly expensive. And I think that's true. We do deserve to treat ourselves kindly and to treat ourselves and do nice things for ourselves. We're all human beings and we're just kind of out here doing our best. But now I do see the question of what do I deserve very differently than I used to. So what do I actually deserve? Do I deserve to not have any savings because I'm spending all of my money? Do I deserve to have a closet that is overflowing with fancy expensive clothing items and too many shoes that I cannot easily store them in our shoe cabinet and I have to find some other kind of solution for all these shoes? Do I deserve to live in a cluttered home that takes way more time to clean and tidy? What it comes down to, for me anyway, is what we actually deserve is self-care. And companies are very good at telling us that the best form of self-care is buying things. So when we are feeling tired or stressed, or we're happy and we want to celebrate something, we can just go shopping or add to cart and treat ourselves. But for me now, buying something that I don't really need with money that maybe I don't even really have to now have to store and maintain and take care of in my home doesn't really feel like treating myself anymore. So when it comes to self-care, it's not about consuming, it's about nurturing. So I deserve to feel well rested. I deserve peace of mind. I deserve to be able to walk into my apartment and feel good here. I deserve to not have financial stress. So now when I want to treat myself and do something nice for myself, I might take a slow morning when I really need it, when I wake up more tired than usual. Or I might go for a walk when suddenly the weather gets nicer. Or I might do some extra yoga before going to sleep. And sometimes, yes, a treat does involve making a purchase, and that is absolutely fine too. Minimalism is not about never ever buying something for yourself. But I love that this way of thinking now makes me much more intentional about it. Number 3 is the fewer choices principle. I have learned that having fewer options to choose from is so much better than having many options. And I know that kind of feels counterintuitive because we're always told that more options is better, like you just have more options. But I now much prefer to have only a few things to choose between. You know what I mean if you've ever stood in front of your closet that is filled with clothes, but you still feel like you have nothing to wear. Or you're looking for an item in your home, you know you have it somewhere, but you just cannot find it. Or when you're browsing on Netflix for a movie to watch or a show to watch, and there are so many, you just kind of feel, like you can't really make a good choice. Whenever I can, I now try to limit my options instead of increasing them. So that goes for clothing and shoes and purses and accessories and things like that. I try not to have too many of them, but also the books I'm reading, video games I'm playing, meals I'm planning. I try to just make use of what I already have and choose between those options when I can. Minimalism has really made me experience that I feel so much better and I have so much more peace of mind if I only have a few options to choose between. I never get decision fatigue anymore now. And I also feel much more grateful for the options that I do have. Somehow things just also feel much less special if you have way too many of them. And this idea of subtracting from your life rather than adding to it for more happiness really hit home for me when I read the book Goodbye Things from Fumio Sasaki, which is a great book. I highly recommend it if you haven't read it yet. And he talks about the silent to-do list. It's the idea that every item you own is quietly talking to you, sending you quiet, tiny messages. Like, hey, remember you were going to use me for your new hobby, remember? Or, hey, you need to clean me. Or, you spent a lot of money on me, so don't forget. And the more items that we are surrounded by, the louder that gets. So it's like this low-level mental noise. And now that I have decluttered my home and I have much fewer options to choose between for every category, my home is much more silent. Fewer decisions means more energy left over for other things that actually matter, because decision fatigue is real and it can be very draining and you have all that stuff around you to manage. So for me, minimalism and simple living has really made that much more quiet. It gave me a lot more peace of mind, focus, gratitude, and overall happiness. Number 4, the practical will last rule. So I love pretty things. I love design, I love furniture, I love art, I love pretty packaging, I love all of it. But in the end, if I have to choose between something that's pretty and has a good, pretty aesthetic, or something that's practical, then I will always choose the more practical one. And that is something that minimalism has really taught me. Now, best case scenario, I find something that is both functional and practical, and it looks good, And if I find something like that, I will usually buy it. Like, that's too much for me to resist. But otherwise, I will choose the practical, functional one. If you buy something that is pretty and aesthetic, but it doesn't match your personality, your home, your lifestyle, your preferences, it's not comfortable, it's not practical, then you're not going to use it and it's not going to bring you any long-term value. For example, when we were looking to purchase a desk for me to work at, part of me wants a beautiful aesthetic desk, something that is made from real wood preferably, and that just looks beautiful and has that like minimalist design that I love, and it would look very pretty in this apartment. But for me, that kind of desk wouldn't be the most practical option. So eventually we went for this one, and it's not ugly, but it's also not the most beautiful desk I've ever seen, but it's so practical. It has enough space for my laptop, my keyboard, and an extra screen. I can work on it sitting or standing. So this actually makes my work easier and better, and it also attributes to my health because I can work on it standing. Minimalism is about making choices that are intentional. So it's not about depriving ourselves or anything, but it's more about making choices that actually support our lives and not just look aesthetic. Choosing the practical one often means that we are spending less, wasting less, and getting more joy and use from the things that we already have. And also, if you ask me, if you actually use and love something a lot, then it becomes its own kind of beauty. Number 5, the less meh, more yay rule. I think this one kind of sums up minimalism in a very simple and easy way. So if you are considering adding something to your life, whether that is an item, an activity, a hobby, a commitment, then this question can help bring some clarity. When you think about it, minimalism is a way of living that will bring us less meh and more yay. So less clutter, stress, burdens, and more of the things that really make us happy. Because here's the thing, our money, time, and energy are limited resources. So if we say yes to one thing, then we cannot say yes to something else. And once we've spent them, they're gone. So if we're constantly buying, comparing, chasing, returning, cleaning, organizing, then we cannot spend that energy on other things. For me, minimalism is not about never buying something I don't 100% need, or being like, hey, look how few things I own. Like, I am definitely not the most minimalist out there, but because I've been living this lifestyle for such a long time, I have made more space for the things that bring me that yay feeling, things that align with my values and bring me joy and excitement, and less of all the meh stuff. And sometimes something can feel like a yay, but it's actually more of a meh in disguise. And this is something I've also learned just through the years. For example, kitchen appliances. I love cooking, so if I see a cool kitchen appliance, my initial feeling is like, ooh, that's cool, like it's a yay. But when you have it for a while and you use it a lot, it's actually sometimes really like a hassle to use it, or a hassle to clean it, or it takes up a lot of space, and we don't really have a very large kitchen in this apartment, so it becomes a meh. And we don't have to get it right all the time, obviously. It's also kind of like a trial and error, but it helps us to be more intentional when we can remember past purchases of a similar nature and then look back like, did they eventually become a meh or a yay in our life? Number 6, the holy grail myth. This is one that really helped me out over the recent years, and it took some time for me to figure it out, and kind of like trial and error. But it is this idea that there is no perfect product, no magic solution. It's easy to get pulled into the advertising because they're using our hopes and dreams. They know what we want, so it makes it easy to think like, this serum will finally fix my skin, or this pair of jeans will finally fit perfect on my body type, or this planner will make me productive and organized. It's always this feeling of like, this is the one. And this can keep us in a constant shopping loop, because when the product doesn't deliver in that perfect way that we had hoped, or the dream that we were sold, we assume that there must be something wrong, but not with the product, but with us. Or we think like, okay, this wasn't the one, but this one is going to be the one. I used to fall in this trap all the time, and if I bought something, it didn't do for me what it showed in the ad, then I thought, okay, I must be using it wrong, or it's not for my skin type, or my body, or my routine, or this hair styling product doesn't work for me, but maybe that's because I'm using the wrong shampoo, and then I try to find a better shampoo, and the whole cycle just repeats itself. In the end, advertising is not made to tell us the truth. It is made to sell us a dream that if we just bought this product, then we would feel stylish or confident or organized or happy. And for me, so few of the products that I bought actually lived up to that expectation, that dream. So instead of purchasing something new, I now choose to focus more on having realistic expectations and building good habits and finding contentment with what I already have. And of course, it doesn't mean that I never buy anything new or get excited about trying a new solution for something, but I do try to keep this in mind. Like, am I considering this product because I'm chasing a feeling? And can I also just make do and use what I already have? Number 7, the perfectly imperfect rule. And the idea that true confidence is not something that you can shop for. So much of what we see online kind of tries to convince us otherwise, because we see this very carefully curated version of people's lives and influencers showing us their perfectly organized, aesthetic looking homes, and they have flawless skin, and they wake up early and they go to the gym, and it all looks perfect. And how this often works is that they're not just showing their lives and sharing it, but they're also selling it. So what this can do to the people who watch it is that even if you are not aware of it, it can make us feel like we don't measure up, like our imperfect reality is not good enough, and we need to upgrade our wardrobe, our home, our kitchen, our life to keep up. It gives us this never-ending feed of things that we didn't even know we were supposed to want. And now that we do know, we kind of feel like we need them to measure up. A simple example could be that you are decluttering your home and you're trying to organize things better. So you're looking at like home organization content, and you see these influencers with these perfectly organized pantries with all the matchy containers, and it all looks very pretty. And then you look at your own decluttered pantry, which is perfectly functional and perfectly fine, but it doesn't look that perfect. So now you feel like it's not good enough, even though it worked pretty well before. So through minimalism and simple living, I have found so much confidence because I now know that there is absolutely no need for me to feel like my life needs to be perfect like that, or look perfect, or have the perfect things, and there's nothing that I need to like live up to, because it's already good enough just the way that it is. And shopping out of insecurity is so common. I used to do it all the time. I remember when I got a promotion at my job and I felt really insecure about it, and I had huge imposter syndrome at that job. So the first thing that I just did was go shopping for like work outfits to feel better about my own insecurities when it came to my job. And studies show that retail therapy is often linked to our insecurities and our feeling of not measuring up. So we buy things to compensate for what we feel is lacking, but it never actually solves anything in my experience. So for me, inner confidence isn't about trying to get as close to perfect as I can, but rather accepting the imperfections and knowing that it's absolutely fine the way that it is. And the more confident I started to feel, the less urge I had to go shopping. Thank you so much for watching and sticking around all the way until the end. I appreciate it. And if you enjoyed this video, then you might like to join my Patreon or become a YouTube member. I post 2 exclusive videos on there every month, and they're usually about topics like this: minimalism, simple living, self-care. We also do tea time chats where I answer people's questions and give them advice. I post vlogs on there sometimes, and also just like behind the scenes pictures, life updates. It's a lot of fun. And my supporters on Patreon and YouTube members also help me to keep making these free videos for everyone here on YouTube, and also say no to sponsors that don't align with the channel and that I don't want to promote to you. So they help the channel to keep existing. And if you want to support my work in that way too and get the extra videos, then you can decide for yourself if you would rather do that on Patreon or here on YouTube as a YouTube member. So they are the same exclusive videos, the same 2 tiers, and I will leave the links for both options in the description box below. Also, thank you to all of you for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting. It really helps too, and I appreciate it a lot. I love this community so much, and I would love to know what you think about these 7 minimalist rules. in the comment section down below as well. So I'll see you there. As always, questions, comments, conversations down below. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again really soon. Bye-bye. You know what I haven't eaten in a while? Beets. I know this is super random, but I love beets and I really don't eat them enough. I feel like beets taste the way that dirt smells, but it is in a good way.